Introducing first, representing Teja Association, big hand for Samir, Chantre. His opponent, representing Milton Bastos Academy, big hand for Milton Bastos.
Here we go, boys. It's about to go down.
Referee Andre Gladzinski invites the athletes onto the mat, and in the far corner you see referee Marcel Fortuna. Across from Marcel Fortuna is referee Christina Barlin. Seated, they can call advantages, overrule on points. If
the rules will be enforced today.
Yeah, if two referees offer points or an advantage, it can override the one. So the athletes shake hands, and here we go. We're getting ready.
Show of respect.
This is the Black Belt Pro under 154.5 pounds as a hand slap, and the clock has started, and it'll be interesting to see who pulls guard first, because I'm telling you, someone's going to pull. And you see both of them are feigning it. Samir stays on the knees.
Take the takedown, go for the guard pull.
What I like about some of these guys at Chantre Association is that they're smaller guys and they tend to pull guard a lot, but they're not afraid of the takedown.
And you see Samir went back to his back. Almost looked like he went for a De La Riva hook and he missed it. Tried to spin under. Not quite. Kind of feeling each other out a little slow here. Nobody's really jumping into it. Samir's going into almost...
You got 10 minutes. There's no sense in going crazy here.
It's kind of going for that, what do they call it? The Mendez brothers call this position the kiss of the scorpion. The kiss of the dragon, excuse me. He's going to try to swim under. It's a little bit of like a reverse De La Riva. And Milton Bastos is being really cautious with how he engages Samir Chantre's guard here. You could see that he's not actively going in it. And Samir's playing a worm guard variation here with the lapel. You see he's fed the lapel with his right hand underneath Milton's right leg, and I think he'll be looking to pass that lapel to his left hand, and we'll see if he can do that. Milton's got a nice grip on Samir's leg, and Samir gets the reversal, nice. And he's going to pick up 2 points. That was a real basic just stand-up.
It was almost too easy.
Yeah, it was almost like Milton didn't even try to defend that.
Now he's down 2 points. I don't think you ever want to be down by any points in any of these matches.
Yeah, I think these athletes are still kind of in a feeling out phase. I haven't seen either guy really jump into anything, and there's about 8 minutes underway here.
You see Samir on top. He's using his right hand to try to keep his opponent from sitting up too much. Also to stabilize his own position. You'll see what he's doing now with his left hand. He's kind of doing the opposite. He looks like he's going to pop up. What he's going to do is he's going to cross his hands as he kicks up. He's going to donkey kick with that left hand and try to pass to his right.
Let's see if he could get that. We see Milton's kind of got a De La Riva on Samir's right side, but Milton doesn't have the traditional De La Riva grip with his left hand.
He could really use a sweep right now to get back on points, or a takedown. He goes back to guard.
Stood up and went back to guard. That was interesting, and he's back on the leg again. And they're both kind of playing a similar game here with the lapel, feeding it, and he's going to go for the belt, and he's going to try to spin under and see if he can take the back. Samir sits down, and now Samir may try to come up on the back here. They got some
got their legs all tangled up.
What I like to call flyweight footsies.
And here comes a Berimbolo attempt from Samir. He'd like to spin under and come up through the back, and Milton shuts that down. Milton stays on top.
Good job, sir.
And Milton's going to pick those 2 points back up. So it's all tied up. There's about 7 minutes left in the match. My prediction for this match is that these guys are probably going to turn it on around minute 3. Seems like they're still kind of feeling each other out. Nobody's overly committed to anything yet.
Playing a little footsie at the moment.
And Samir's got a nice lasso with his right leg. And he let the lasso go, opts to grab the lapel.
And then grabbing the end of the jacket is pretty effective in kind of just disrupting somebody's game at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the pro division, these guys are so good with the way they can weave that jacket in. They almost use that jacket. You see he has like a lasso on the jacket instead of the arm. And he's going to look to feed it. That's the classical worm guard setup right here, made popular by Keenan Cornelius.
Who?
Keenan Ivory Cornelius. And he's got that set. He's going to look for the basic sweep, and he comes up. And he gets it.
And that is
just worm guard sweep 101 right there. And Milton may be looking to.
It'd be really nice if Samir had come up with a pass right now and really jump up ahead on the scorecard.
Yeah, that would be beneficial for him.
2-4.
Milton may be interesting to see what he's playing here.
Could he be looking for a possible footlog?
I think he's still looking for the sweep. Hopefully he doesn't tie up in the 50-50. That'll eat up.
Footlock is not typical of these guys' games, but it seems like every time we've said that today and in the past, that's exactly what we end up seeing. So
yeah,
even though it's not part of Samir's typical game, like it's right there.
And it looks like Milton may go into the 50, and he may go for a knee bar, or he might be.
For the sweep,
and now he's in 50-50. This position, let's see if he can do anything innovative with it. We've seen it, it's been talked about ad nauseum in the jiu-jitsu world that this position, eats up clock time. It's not super fan-friendly. He does have a lapel kind of stuff through there, and it looks like he's abandoned it a little bit to go for that lasso with his left leg on bottom here. So he's out of the classic 50-50, which is a better thing for the spectators. They can view more action. 50-50 tends to slow it down a little bit. And Samir's looking to pass perhaps, but I think he's just trying to maintain his balance. I wouldn't be surprised if Milton tries to hit the sweep, and he does, and he comes up to tie. He's going to tie it up. And Samir promptly locks Milton back up in the 50-50.
So now we got a tie game, folks.
So you talk about, whose game is it and who's ready and what's the strategy and all that. You talk about having a good breakfast and stuff like that. Just an insider scoop, going into the gentleman's room, Mr. Bastos and another guy were talking about how hungry they were, but they couldn't eat. Thinking about having an acai bowl, but they had to make sure they made weight before they stepped on the mat.
Rough. Yeah.
So, that could be a factor, especially like you said. I mean, it's a 10-minute match. It really comes down to the last 2 minutes and who can turn the heat on and sustain the pace.
And it looks like Samir he may come up and have a re-sweep attempt here, and Andre Glazinski, the ref, gives him his 2 points. So he's up 6-4, and this is the pacing that we've seen right out of the start.
It's going to seesaw back and forth.
A light sweep and another light sweep and another light sweep, not really detested or contested, I should say, by the opponent here. There hasn't been a lot of defensive play. It's been kind of more,
I think you're right. It's going to come down to the last 30 seconds to maybe some sort of scramble.
There's about 3.5 minutes left. If you're just jumping in, this is the 154-pound division on the adult black belt pro. And we have Samir Chantre in blue, and he's going up against Milton Bastos in black. And it looks like Samir picked up 2 more points, and it's 8-6 now.
This has really been going back and forth. I mean, 2 guys with very similar games doing very similar moves to each other.
Yeah, 4 points is a good margin, especially with these guys. It's going to be such a tight scoring right now. 4 points, huge margin. So now what Bastos is going to have to do, he's going to have to sweep and he's going to have to pass. Unless he sweeps, lets him stand up again, releases him, and then sweeps him again, he can tie up. But then we're looking at advantages.
And the competitors fix their belts. They're started. And Milton's got the De La Riva hook on the left side on bottom. And Samir is playing a little Toriano game. You can see Samir's really not turning up the heat as we're used to seeing. And they're kind of smiling and talking to each other at this point. And let's see if Milton can get the sweep here. He's down by 2 points. He needs the sweep to at least tie it up.
See, Samir's been working on this X pass the entire match. See if he can pull it off right here. See how he's kind of like going like a leg drag position.
Trying to slide through.
Yeah.
I think Milton's left hand is on Samir's pin, and he just pulled it out, and I think that's what was stopping the pass, but he managed to come back up to his feet.
Usually, if you look
at
the way that X pass is done, when they grab that pass, you just kind of just smash their hand. They usually will let go, Smashing somebody's hand with all your shin pressure and weight usually makes them let go.
We saw a double guard pull, and referee Andre Glazinski gives Samir an advantage for coming up to the top. And there's about a minute and a half left, and I would expect these guys to start turning it up. Samir is getting much tighter on the pass here. Milton's playing little bit of a Z guard style, and he looks like he maybe tried to hit a loop choke, trying to go for a straight arm lock.
Yeah, Milton needs to get busy here.
Yeah, Milton's getting a little bit more desperate in his attempts.
He spins under. Oh, if he could come up right here.
And
You know, at this point, just like conserving energy and waiting for that sprint at the end, it's not so bad for Samir to give up sweep points as long as he doesn't get his guard pass.
And Milton goes back to the 50-50. What will hurt Milton here is even if he gets a sweep, he's down by an advantage.
Right.
So Samir's still in a good spot to complete the match, and there's about a minute left, and let's see if these guys turn it up here.
To be honest, what he's got to do is either submit Samir, which I may not see happening, or he's got to sweep, stop in the half guard, get that advantage, and then pass the guard. Or even just passing the guard from the sweep would get him the win.
And you can see Milton's going to go for the
He's going
straight
for
ankle
that
lock. Misses it. Samir's coming up to pass. Now he's coming up with some aggression. If he seals the pass, and he's got a nice leg drag position, and I think he's going to seal this pass.
Left. Just under 40 seconds.
Milton's option here is to maybe perhaps give up his back to stop the pass, but with the amount of time that's on the clock right now, that's not the greatest idea.
Yeah, it looks like Samir is going to ride this one out unless something crazy happens.
And Samir hops over to the other side. He gets the pass. Milton
He's
attacks
finally got
the
that
leg.
X pass that he's been trying to do this whole time, huh? He's keeping his arms crossed. Nice. You can't let him swim around.
And he's got another advantage. And Samir looks like he's going to bring home this victory.
So we wind down to the last few seconds. 2-1. Samir will hold for
Once
the
again.
win, 6-8. Samir Chantre with 2 advantages, 0.
Nice job from Samir. Ernest, keys to victory, man. What did Samir do right to win that match?
He stood patient against, kind of a younger, more spry guy. He didn't burn himself out. You could tell Samir's like, this is match 1 of a long day. He's not satisfied with the $500 check. That's nice. What he wants is he wants all the money, right? So he did a smart game. He didn't go crazy because we've seen more athleticism from him in the past, especially the way he passes and scrambles. This guy's a little bit smaller than him, probably a lot more, probably faster. He just kind of paced himself. You just saw a little bit more wisdom from a more seasoned black belt.
Matt, anything surprise you out of that match? I was a little surprised with the pacing. It seemed a little slow.
The pacing was a little slow, and I didn't think that Milton went after it the way he should have at the very end there.
Yeah, it looked like they were a little bit tentative and they were feeling each other out. It may be because they're so familiar with each other's games. Sometimes you'll kind of see that, and they will avoid, certain tough spots or certain spots where they know they get in trouble. But it seemed like it was kind of teeter-totter back and forth. But Samir always seemed to be more in control of the match than Milton was. Let's jump over to Estella Matt's side with Samir Chantre.
Welcome over here. We're on the sidelines with Samir Chantre. Congratulations, Samir. You just won the 154 pounds and below division, correct?
Uh-huh. Correct.
Congratulations. Now, I know you've been traveling a lot. So how do you prepare for this when you've been doing seminars and camps and things like that?
Yeah, I always try to manage my trips and all my travels and camps around times that I'm not competing too much. So I schedule a lot of them for after Worlds, which was just 10 days out of town. Had a camp with my friend Queixinho in Costa Rica. So, like I just said, I was with Queixinho there, and so we got to train every day and in our classes, in our seminars. So it's a way to not to get completely out of the mats, So most of the travels I do is for seminars and camps. So I'm still training. Always when I go to seminars, I train with all the students. I try to train the instructors too. So I keep it up. It is hard in terms of eating. Diet is kind of hard, like airports and hotels, but
You have to maybe pre-pack your food, right? Maybe that $500 can help you pre-pack your food, right?
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, congratulations again, Samir. Thank you so much. And we're back to you guys.